You're watching 13 on your side.
Tonight, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Tudor Dixon took the stage together one last time, the second and final debate between the two before the voters of Michigan choose the next governor on November 8th. 13 on your side's Nate Belt joins us now. And Nate, what did each candidate have to say?
Yeah, Kirk, the candidates were asked 14 questions over the hour-long debate, each leaning hard into talking points they've made throughout the entire campaign. While Whitmer largely said she would expand on policies already put in place during her first term, Dixon criticized the governor for either not doing enough or doing the wrong things entirely. The night began with questions about Proposal 3, which would add reproductive rights to the state constitution. Tudor Dixon called it extreme.
But it would be the most radical abortion law in the entire country. The only place that has something similar are China and North Korea.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer responded that it's not as radical as Republicans make it out to be.
The other side will say all sorts of wild-eyed things that are not true. Parental rights and consent will still be effective. We know that regulations will still be in effect.
Both said they would abide by whatever the outcome of the vote on the proposal is if they were to win the election. Inflation was also discussed, with each candidate saying the other doesn't have any plans to help.
But I would put money back into your pockets. I would make sure we have that child tax credit. I would make sure that we reduce the income tax. And I would make sure that our seniors who are on a fixed income are not receiving more taxes than they should.
Dixon says all of those measures were brought before Whitmer by GOP legislators, but vetoed by the governor.
The bills Mrs. Dixon refers to were a gimmick. Republicans in Lansing wanted to tell you that they were cutting your taxes, but they didn't even take effect until spring of next year. I don't have time for games, and I don't think you do either.
Safety at schools was also on the agenda, a day after Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley pled guilty to killing 4 students last year.
I would like to have armed security at our schools. I would like to make sure that we have a one entry point. I would also like to implement some of that plan that talks about how to identify a child that struggles with mental health.
Whitmer declared support for secure storage laws, red flag laws, and stricter background checks, saying Dixon's plan has already failed.
There was a school shooting in Missouri yesterday in a district that had exactly what she just described. One place of entry, armed guards in the school district, and people are dead. We've been trying that for 30 years. It's not working.
The hot topic of book banning in schools and libraries was also brought forward. Dixon supported parents who have called for books described as sexual in nature to be removed.
If you have material in your school that is something that you can't read to a child at a bus stop because you would be arrested because it is pornographic, then it should not be in our classrooms.
Whitmer says the books in question, many of which discuss LGBTQ themes, are important to children's identities and that there are larger issues that need attention.
Do you really think books are more dangerous than guns? Do you really think that books pose a greater danger to our kids than gun violence does?
Whitmer and Dixon were also asked at one point to say one thing positive about each other. Both commended each other's outspoken support of their children, and Dixon said she was impressed with Whitmer's consistent fight for women. Kirk?
All right, thank you, Nate. We have everything you need to know ahead of the election on our website right now. Just head to 13onyourside.com/elections for a full breakdown.